Alright guys, I got me a ship's bell right here. This is actually a 14-inch bell. It's solid brass. Picked it up at a garage sale. You can actually see, I don't know if you can see that right here, but it's really been worn on one side over the years. You see how nice and smooth that is? And then they kept hitting it right there on that same side over and over. The bracket, I've already started redoing the bracket. Okay, let's try this again. So I've already started redoing the bracket, and I had got this in a vise. You can see I got some teeth marks right here on them where I was doing it. But it was already beat up. It had no bracket, but I got it. Let me see if I can get that right there. Okay, so I've got it squared up, and I've already bent this down. This was bent all the way down like somebody hung on it. So I've got it straightened back up, and I got it square. And a little nut on the top. So it's actually a pretty easy restoration. So what I'm going to do right now is I got me some metal. It's just a plate I have on hand. Again, we're trying to do this with no money. And I have me, let me see if I can do this one-handed. So I'm going to put my bracket right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually weld me some tabs on the sides, and then that's not going to hold. I can't do this one-handed. Anyway, I'm going to sit there and weld an angle on it, give it a pocket to hold itself onto, and then after it slides itself in, we'll be able to drill some holes up here, and we'll be able to bolt it to a wall of some sort. Well, let's see how this goes. Let's see how this happens. So this will be restoring the ship's bell. And this thing is heavy. It's about 60 pounds. And then, I don't know if you can see it here, but right here is where they were hitting it over the years. Over and over and over again. And you can see where that was hitting across. So, still a very good bell. In good condition. And we'll go from there. Again, 14-inch bell, a solid brass. This is going to be a nice addition to the shop. Well, the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make that bracket. So this brass bell, it actually was at a school, and the guy I bought it from at a garage sale, he said that his dad was a school teacher, and when he finally retired, he was able to keep the school bell, but we're going to make it a ship's bell. And I know why it was still sitting there in the garage sale, because there was no bracket to hang this thing. It was what it had for the bell itself was bent, and there was no way to actually mount it to a wall or hang it the way it was designed. So we're going to have to actually build a bracket first, and that's what we're doing here. We're actually cutting the metal to shape, and we're going to get it in there, and we're going to actually have it at an angle so that way it holds the mounting bracket that we have under compression. So it's just going to slide in there, and it'll hold it without any bolts or anything else. It's just going to hold it by its own weight. Okay, so what you got is this going to sit there. We already cut this. We had to shave it down. See, it was still a little too long, so we had to cut it on both here, lengthways and widthways, get it all down. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of hold it up like that, give or take, and then we're going to do some welds right here, and then that's going to be the basis of our mount. Okay, so I don't know what happened right there, but the camera just kind of went absolutely haywire. It didn't measure. I didn't actually record anything when I was trying to weld these brackets on, so we missed all that. So what I'm doing now is we've got the welds on the outside, and we're going to actually drill our holes on our bracket here, and then after we drill the holes, we'll be able to paint it. Now I know the welds aren't the prettiest, but we don't have to worry about any structural capabilities with it. It just needs to hold a 30-pound bell. They are more than strong enough for that. It'll hold a few 100 pounds. I couldn't move them, and they'll do good. And after you paint them up, we won't be able to see any defects in the welds. Now we actually primered it up, and once we finish primering it up, I'm going to throw some black paint on it, and that black paint really starts to make it shine pretty good. And now that I'm in editing mode, I can't remember if I put 2 or 3 coats of black paint, but I did put enough on there that it will protect the bracket. Alright, continuation of what we're doing here. I've never used Brasso before, but it looks like this is the product of choice to clean up our ship's bell. We got some tarnish going on. We did fix this. I showed you how I didn't show you how I squared it out, but I put it in vise and bent it with the pipe wrench and got that square. And now what we've got to do is clean this up. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's nice and polished on this side for the most part. And then on this side, you can see that's the side they kept hitting the bell with, so it got a little tarnished right there. So let's go ahead and fix this up and see how this stuff works. So we're supposed to soak a cloth, and then when we finish soaking the cloth in Brasso, we're supposed to rub it up in there. So I don't know how much we're supposed to use or not use. Got a lot going on right there. Well, this was my first time using Brasso, and I quickly learned that we need to do small sections at a time, not large sections. And a green scour pad
in with a little abrasion
would actually work the best when we started putting this together.
Clean up.
And that's what I ended up doing. I tried several different things right here in the very beginning, and a little green scour pad and Brasso is what actually did the best work for it to clean it up.
Let's wipe that down. Oh yeah, I don't know if y'all can see that, but that is definitely the way to go. It's not just look at that. See that spot right there where we were just polishing? It's a lot nicer. Yes. Oh, definitely. That right there, look at that. That polished that up nice. Look at that. Look at this tarnish right here. Let's just rub that for a little bit. Rub that with some Brasso. Take our clean cloth and wipe that off. Oh yeah. Whew, this is going to be a chore. A 14-inch brass bell here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that difference happening right there. See right there where I was polishing it out. This old antique bell is going to be beautiful when we finish it up. Oh man, I don't know how bad you can see some of these pits up in here.
on how bad it looks. But yeah, there's going to be a huge difference on this. Love it. Okay, so a lot of hours later and a lot of days later, I would polish a little bit, leave, come back, polish a little bit, leave, come back. Just a whole lot of elbow grease. The nut itself, I don't think it was solid brass. It must be bronze or something else. It had a different shine to it. But the bell, that little arm over, they all had that same color to it. I couldn't get all the pits out of it. As you can tell, it still had some pitting that was real bad. But you know what? It's all the same color. It's shiny. Yeah, a green scour pad in brass. So that's all I did. Just back and forth until I got it all cleaned up. I got the outside of the bell, the inside of the bell, and then I got the bracket painted black. You can tell it has a little shine on that bracket there. So all we have to do now is put it together and mount that bracket. Well, at this point, I finally realized that I don't have a bell rope. I need to get myself a nice bell rope on it, and I don't want to just tie a little bowline knot on it and hang some rope on it. I want something to look a little nicer. Definitely nautical, because it's going to be my ship's bell. Too big for Squally Heifer, but it's still my ship's bell. So what I have is I took a little snap shackle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a running snake knot. And then from at the end of the snake knot, what I'm going to do is put a diamond knot just so I can give it a little bit of girth on the end. I'll follow that by my rumble lock and then my sewn whip locking, just like I would on a soft shackle. So this is some very cheap rope. I wouldn't really trust it for anything else. To me, it's more decoration, and especially that color, that blue and gray. I did like the color of it. But yeah, all I did is I tightened it all the way up on that snap shackle, and I did a snake knot all the way down. And then when I finished that, again, I did my diamond knot, and I measured it out. It took me, this was a 3/8 inch rope, and I averaged about a foot of rope for every inch of decorative snake knot all the way down. I ended up with 14 inches is what I wanted on the bell rope, because I had a shelf right there, and I didn't want the bell rope touching the shelf. So it was just a little over 14 feet of line to actually make this rope all the way down. And I have it actually sitting over my workbench, and I could just reach up and grab it. So this was just me repetition of tying the snake knot all the way down and getting it set up. So let's see what it looks like after I finish out my bell rope. Well, there you go, guys. A completed restoration of a 14-inch brass bell.
I've got a nice little ship's rope on it, completely restored, nice and shiny. It has a great sound to it, very loud. And I love the way the ring just echoes into the garage. But as always, if you've made it this far, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.